the home of everything Frederick, 401 North Market Street. This is Darren. This is Terry. Darren Ahearn, ReMax.
Results.
What's it called? ReMax Results.
Yep.
Are there like 50 million different kind of ReMax something?
Yes.
But the balloon is the most important.
Exactly.
And it's Terry Kernan.
Kernan, yep.
And Presidential Bank Mortgage.
Absolutely.
So you two have teamed up, which makes sense.
Yep.
To do a weekly, you guys were cool before podcasting, really. You guys have been doing
Call us the pioneers.
a radio
Yes.
show on WFMD on Saturdays. Mm-hmm. What types of things do you guys cover? Are you just kind of looking at the market, giving people feedback on what they should be doing? Tell me a little bit about how that came about.
So how it really came about was Darren was doing a show up in Thurmont on the radio station, and WFMD, I guess probably Frank or somebody came and recruited Darren, and Darren, felt that having a partner do the radio show would be advantageous, so you get two sides.
Yeah, and adds a
two
little
views.
depth, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, doing a show by yourself, like when he's not there and I have to do it, I get very, very anxious.
Palms get sweaty.
Yeah, but when he's on the show,
Yeah.
we never rehearse or
Even
do
with
anything.
your
We talk for 15 minutes
Yeah.
Yep.
on Saturday mornings, and that's it.
Yeah.
And we've been doing it almost 8 years. Our
Yeah.
8-year anniversary is coming up this spring.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good long-term thing. What have you guys noticed that over the 8-year period, like where have we come?
Whew.
Because, everybody talks about real estate here in Frederick and how it's just skyrocketing. And, I've lived here since 1977. I can tell you for sure. My parents' home is, they bought for $77,000 and it's probably $500,000 property now. Is it going to keep going like this? Do you think?
I've got my opinion.
No one has a crystal ball. We don't eat glass.
Yeah.
But considering how close we are to DC, considering the demand to live in this area because of jobs, government jobs, and just growth, there's so much growth here. Just due to that alone, has caused this area to will continue to be one of the most popular places in the country to live. And so because of that, we've gone, it seems like, and I came here 25 or so years ago from Owings Mills in Baltimore and down on the Eastern Shore. So I've gotten to see areas that were growing and popular. Came here to Frederick in like 99, and like you said, everything was cheap. It was country, it was farms, it was all that. And then I got into real estate here, and to see the growth, I don't think anybody could have predicted really that it was going to quite come out this way and from DC and grow this much. And so it's been surprising. And do I think it's going to stop? Nope. This is going to be.
This is it.
Yeah.
This. Our normal.
I mean, we're helping people now. Terry just did a loan last month for me, family that came from Florida, up here for jobs. And so, Boonesboro. And they think it's crowded. It's in the middle of a farm almost. So I think that's the key is we're going to continue to see a lot of growth here, and it's not going to get any cheaper and less demand unless something catastrophic happens in this area, but we don't see that happening.
Yeah, so really to purchase now, you're in, because I think a lot of people are like, oh my God, I don't want to purchase now. We feel like we're at this point, but I've always said I think Frederick is special in the sense that we are in this economic bubble, right? Because of our proximity to DC and Baltimore and high-paying jobs and people driving down the road, we've been really protected. We don't feel the flattening economy as much as other people in the median part of our county. But for young people, my son's 21, and they were talking about getting an apartment with his girlfriend. When I moved out in 1987, my rent was $475 for a 2-bedroom, brand new apartment on Key Parkway.
There you go.
My son and his girlfriend are paying $1,600 for a 1-bedroom, 700 square foot place. And it's shocking. It's shocking for young people. What is your advice for young people today? Should they buy right away? Or do you think that there's still, because my thing is, how do you even save when you're spending that to buy a home?
What do you think?
I think the answer is yes. And one of the telltale signs is that Darren and I did a show a couple weeks ago, year-end show. Let's talk about, what's going on with, renting versus buying. And one of the things that I've never really looked at closely, but when I saw it, I was like, whoa, that's an amazing thing, is the average person that's a renter, their net worth is $10,000.
Yep.
What was it in 2010? The average renter's net worth was $7,000.
Wow.
Today, the average homeowner's net worth is over $200,000.
Yeah.
So if that doesn't tell you to buy a house
Right.
as soon as you possibly can,
Yeah.
then I don't think anything else can. Like if Darren and I say, yeah, now's a great time to buy. Yes, you should buy. Come on, let's
Yeah.
set you up. Then people may look at us and say, well, you guys get paid to
You
do
just
this.
want,
Yeah,
you're just
and
pushing
it's
us
like-
because you get
Yeah,
paid.
but that's not how Darren and I
No.
operate. We've worked together for 15, 17 years now.
Yeah.
But the thing is that when you explain to somebody, even in our business, that the average renter's worth $10,000 today, and that's
Yeah.
what they were worth 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's an amazing
Yeah.
difference to own a home.
Well, I would say the thing is too, when you buy, you're protected. Your interest rate is generally locked in and protected. These rents change with the blow of the wind, right? So if the economy or the interest rates go up, or there's things being passed down to the owners of that land, they're passing that right along to you, kind of willy-nilly. Like
Yep.
I've had friends who've said their rents have increased like ginormous amounts. And when you buy a home, you're kind of protected in that sense, as long as you're not in an adjustable rate. But I think it is, if you can get in. Now, are there still good incentives for people to buy, like first-time home buyers and things like that?
Yeah, the federal government wants
yeah.
home ownership.
Yeah.
If you look at home ownership, not only are you worth more, but higher test scores, higher, so many positives come
Yeah.
out of home ownership that the federal government wants you to do that. So not only through the federal government, not only through the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta, which we deal with, not only through the state of Maryland, state of Virginia, every state has what's called a bond program, okay? And the bond program promotes home ownership for first-time home buyers, okay? What's the definition of a first-time home buyer? Is somebody that has not owned a home or had their name on a mortgage for the last 36 months, 3 years. So somebody that, let's say, in the crash of 2008.
That's interesting. I didn't realize
Yeah.
it was only 3 years.
Yes, it's only 3 years. So there's so many people out there, Danny, that don't think that they can qualify
Yeah.
for benefits as a first-time home buyer. People that, had a divorce,
Right.
sold the marital home, never really recovered. Still, people that have, had a foreclosure, whatever the case may be. People that sold a house and they said, well, I'm not a first-time home buyer. Well, yes,
Yeah.
3
you
years
can
later.
be. Wow.
So I think that there's so much out there
Yeah.
that is available. And what I always try to preach to people is don't always believe what you think.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Always
if
good advice.
Results in trouble.
it's great advice
yeah.
because
Yeah.
everybody thinks, well, I can't buy a house because.
Or I can't qualify. Or
I can't
any of
qualify.
that, right?
And it's always
try.
because.
Yeah.
And there's always a long list of reasons that they
Yeah.
can't do it. And then when you say, well, okay, yes, you can get in for very little or no money down. Yes, you can get in with only putting 3% down. Yes, you can do this. Yes, you can. People look at you and they're like, wow, I wish I would have known this.
Wish I would have known.
Wish I would have known.
Now they do.
Yeah.
Now they do. What are the hot areas right now in Frederick County?
Obviously, the more south. I mean, Urbana still, Imesville. Most of that's simply because of the commute, of course,
Right,
for
yeah.
those that are needing to commute. For those that aren't, obviously downtown here, for the younger people, this is extremely, beneficial. They want to live where you can walk to everything, the restaurants and all the nightlife
Yeah.
and fun like that. And then up where I live, up near Sabillsville, it's for those that want land, want to look
Yeah.
at deer.
Yeah.
Want
that country life, right?
Country
a lot
life.
of people did move to this area
Yeah.
for that. My parents did that too. What's the hottest spot that people haven't discovered yet? What would you say?
Haven't discovered?
Yeah, in Frederick County.
The sleeping, waiting a
Yes,
giant kind of a thing that's coming
yes.
up here, I think.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I would probably wager a little bit more towards like, Smithsburg is
Yeah.
really Washington County,
Well,
but
kind of
like
Frederick
right,
County,
yeah,
yeah.
right on the edge, I would say,
Yeah.
you know, like Boonesboro, I'm hoping, it seems like right on that edge,
Yeah.
like right before Hagerstown, right before you get out of Frederick County. Middletown is always been very popular.
Sure.
The schools have been great
Yeah.
and all that, sports programs and things like that. But for someone that necessarily can't afford so much like Middletown, they're more gravitating up just a little bit. They want to be a little bit closer towards Smithsburg area,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I've had some friends
so-
just move to Myersville, like that area.
Yeah, I would say
recently,
Myersville.
too.
That would
Yeah.
probably be it.
Yeah.
Myersville within the county.
Right.
Definitely right on that edge, no
Yeah,
doubt. Right
yeah.
there, right there.
All right. Well, if people want to move and find the newest hot spot, Darren Ahearn is the guy you need to speak to. And if you want to know if you qualify, don't be afraid to ask the questions. What's the worst thing that can happen, right? But you never know until you ask. You're going to want to speak to Terry. We've got their details on screen for you. This is, and Saturday mornings at 11
Yeah,
on
your Frederick.
WFMD.
Yep, your Frederick Real Estate
AM
Update.
9:30. You can hear these two. What's the name of the show?
Yep, your Frederick Real Estate Update.
That's right. I should know. I typed that in 100 times. Your Frederick Real Estate Update on Saturday mornings, AM 9:30 WFMD. You can catch these two every single week.
Yep.
Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.